Alright, so here we are. The, well, not finished product, but just about finished product. This is how it's going to look. Antron 99. Looking to get into this hobby and, well, also have my hobby double as a land-based communication system. Situations where satellites go out and that sort of thing. Always better to be prepared. So if you're going to start a hobby, may as well make it one that's useful. But found a guy on the internet up in the North Carolina mountains and basically just listened to what he said, because you could tell this guy's been into this kind of thing his whole life. And well, what do I know? So I took all his advice and did all his things. Could have run that cable probably through the attic and come out this fascia board here, but I mean, it's in the back of the house, so who really cares? I got the right kind of cable so the elements won't affect it. And for the cable clamps, I took the screws out and used roofing screws, and also put a little black RTV underneath them when I batten them all down to try to make it so we don't create leaks in the roof. The only place you can see it is right there, but who's going to be standing in my backyard looking right there, you know? And I ran it down across here into the house this way. Put a little foam in the hole after I made the hole. Tricky little story, I didn't have a bit big enough to make that hole, so I actually did that with an attachment to an angle grinder. It was quite awkward. Anyway, that won't stay that way. I'm going to take a razor blade tomorrow and cut that out and put a little touch-up paint on it, make it less noticeable. Not perfect, it's not hidden, but it looks like it was done on purpose, so good enough for me. Now, here's my Benjamin Franklin setup. I did not want to put, the base of the antenna is an 8-foot steel fence post that I attached to. I did not want to put 8 feet of steel sticking out of the top of my house without having it grounded, because I'm allergic to being struck by lightning. So when I said almost finished, this is the other piece. I didn't get quite enough ground wire, and so I can't really batten that down and hide it well enough, so I'm going to attach some more. Ordered it whenever it arrives. This was fun. In theory, I was going to take 2 or 3 swings with a big 10-pound sledgehammer that I have and jam that into the ground. In practice, the thing starts to wiggle every time you hit it and don't hit it dead center. And I'll tell you what, getting that thing in the ground wore me out. But that's it. I wanted one piece of antenna cable so as not to get the losses from the connections, and so I didn't really know how much I'd need. Probably could have gotten by with 50 feet. Bought 75 just in case. And so what I wound up having to do, you can see I did a loop around the chimney before I brought it down. And after I did that, it's absolutely perfect. It goes just to the radio with no excess. And I just would imagine you don't want to have your excess all balled up together. I imagine that would not be good for conductivity. Whatever. And so being able to loop it around that fireplace one time and then bring it, that made it perfect. So there we are. I am not an expert. I do not know if the ground plane coming down over that fireplace, or the ground plane, whatever, the little tentacles that come off it, I don't know if that screws it up or not. And I'm not going to know much until, still, a lot of things are waiting for them to show up from buying them online. But I am using what's meant to be a car mount CB radio for my home base station, which obviously that runs on DC and your house runs on AC. So I have a power converter coming. So I have not been able to power it up to see what kind of signal I get. Now once I can, I'm going to put the SWR meter on it, have my kid do the thing down on the radio and talk to me on the phone as I adjust the tuning forks. I mean, we're going to do the whole thing. But that's it. That's the setup. Well, I guess that's not the whole setup. Part most people are most usually excited about is this part. I started looking for old used radios, thinking it'd be neat to figure out how to take them apart and fix them up and all that. But what I found was that people are very, very proud of their old used radios. I mean, the best price I could get on a vintage 30-year-old radio was only about $20 less than this. And, you know, that's just ridiculous. So I bought the brand new. It's a Bearcat Uniden 980 SSB. And that's the whole thing. So now it has been recorded for posterity. Guess I'll throw it on YouTube to see if anybody's interested, and if anybody wants to set up their own. I will only be telling you if you contact me about that, what Eric up at Farpoint Farms taught me. So if you just go to his YouTube channel, you can get it all directly. But anyway, we're there. I'll let you know how it works once I get power to it. Adios.